everyone, today we're going to be making my simple creamy scrambled eggs recipe. Check it out. This recipe is so simple. This is what you're going to need. First, one pot. For stirring, I use a wooden spoon. You're going to need butter, sharp cheese, heavy whipping cream, and 2 large eggs. Salt and pepper for taste. First step, this is something I like to do before I even turn on the heat. I set up my ingredients in the pot. I start by cracking both eggs. I add in about just a splash to a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. You don't really need much. And about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I like to season my eggs about midway through, so at this point you could go ahead and turn on your heat to about medium-low and kind of start mixing everything together. It works best if your butter is room temperature. I just pulled this one out of the fridge, so it's not going to want to work with me. And this recipe, super simple. It's actually more convenient because it's less mess for me as well, because I basically just use a pot and a spoon, or a wooden spatula. I guess that's what this is called. I don't even know if this is actually meant for cooking. This looks like one of those painting utensils, but it works perfectly for me. The key with this recipe, it's going to take a little bit longer to make, but it's so worth it. You're going to want to constantly turn your eggs, kind of whisk them around as they go, and you don't want it to really stick to the pot. And these pots, you can get them really cheap. I got this one at Walmart for like $2. They're super cheap. And it seems to work fantastically for eggs. See that heat turning on now? It's kicking up. And as you see, everything's starting to melt. That's around the time when I usually add in the salt and pepper. And the salt and pepper is to taste. On the keto diet, it's good to put a healthy serving of salt. I use the pink Himalayan salt because it's so much better for you. It doesn't tear up your insides. This stuff is good. I recommend it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and toss this in. And I don't really put much. Honestly, a few shakes is good enough for me. Salt is good. Salt is really good on the keto diet because you need your electrolytes. So if you guys are doing keto out there, I recommend putting a good serving of salt. Don't be afraid to salt your food. And same thing with the pepper. I throw in a couple shakes as well. Not too much. Probably a 1/4 teaspoon, if any. But that is to taste, to your preference. Now I'm going to continuously stir this to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan or pot. Yes, it's looking really good right now, guys. It's looking delicious. So you see whenever you run the spoon across it and it's kind of separating like that, that's a good sign. So I'm gonna keep on doing this until it starts to stick a little bit. All right, when you start seeing the solid chunks like this, this is around the time where I add in the cheese. because the eggs, this means that the eggs will be ready within the next minute or so. So I'll wait till it gets a little bit more solid. I found out that you don't really want to add the cheese too early, because then it just liquefies and it makes your eggs even more difficult to stabilize. All right, perfect. Around there, you see that? Once it gets to this is when you want to throw in the cheese. So I'm really only going to use about maybe a tablespoon of cheese. You be the judge. If you like it a little bit more cheesy, be my guest. And look at that. This is going to be so good. The cheese is incorporating perfectly. But like I said, doing eggs like this is a little bit more work, but it is so worth it. Some people like their eggs like this. It's a little bit gelatinous, very, very creamy. At this point, it is ready, but I like it a little bit more put together. So I'm gonna leave this on for a little bit longer. This makes a great spread on bread. I enjoy this almost every morning with a side of bacon. This is my go-to breakfast. So if I really am not feeling creative, I'm just gonna make my creamy eggs, because this has all the fats I need and the protein that I want. Oh my God, that's perfect. And I really think the big key, you see how the whole thing just moved, but it still looks nice and creamy? The big key for this recipe is the movement. You want to constantly move your eggs. You don't want it to burn or stick. If it does start to stick, then you know it's definitely ready. So in case your eggs are sticking too quickly, that means it's virtually ready. You're going to want to toss it off of the heat and let it continue cooking by itself with the residual heat that's in the pot. But I think that's perfect, guys. I'm done. My eggs are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and plate this. Let's toss a little green on top. And check that out. These are my creamy eggs.
Get your hands up, 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 get your hands up.
All right, it's time for me to try this out for myself. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is wonderful. Oh my God, that's so good. Back in the day, I loved scrambled eggs, but I would have to eat it with ketchup. I would eat everything with ketchup, but these don't even need it. Look at this. I'm gonna stop eating. It is so good. You have to try this for yourself. Creamy, simple eggs, and this is fantastic on keto. So even if you're not on keto, give this recipe a try. It's simple. I bet a lot of other people do it very similarly, but this is how I do it every single morning. Just, so good. I need to have more. It's very simple, very creamy, and perfect. Oh my God. Now I need some bacon. But thank you once again for checking out one of my videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you like what I'm doing here, subscribe to the channel. I try to put out new recipes weekly. But yes, Thank you so much for checking out my video once again, and let's keep eating.